I just read something the other day like, yeah, she's married and she's having an affair with some woman. I don't know. You know, so it's like now I'm married and I'm still, you know, it's degrading. I think that when you're famous and you're popular, you know, in your field and what you do, I think they're gonna you. I'm sorry. I really do. I think that that's the way they deal with the media. I think that's the way they make their money, you know. Because it's not only me. There are a lot of other people they just pick with all the time, you know. I think that when they find something that they think people are intrigued by, you know, and I guess, I don't know, I guess I'm intriguing. I don't know. I don't find myself to be that intriguing. But I guess they do. Hell out of it. Oh, don't get me wrong. I resent it to the utmost degree, you know, because it's intrusive on one's life. It's not funny, you know, although you have to laugh at it just to keep going. Better things to do with my time than to fight a rag magazine, you know, because I know that ain't going to be the last time they're going to write something about me, you know, and, you know, it just goes on, you know, so, you know, if it's according to what it is, you know, it really does, it's according to what it is. If they really, like, you know, oof, I can't think of what it could be that would make me want to take him to court, you know, because there are a few things I should have took him on, but I just don't have the time, you know, I just kind of, what's hot today ain't hot tomorrow, you know, so it just goes back and forth. I think it's kind of like a natural progression to be a singer, actress, you know, it's different when you're an actress turned singer, you know, and it's very rare for an actress to turn singer, but most singers, you know, it's a natural thing for them, I think, you know, you're interpreting a song, you're acting it out somewhat, so I think when you get into movies, it's just, what's difficult about movies, though, is the actual speaking and having to speak it emotionally, you know, I'm used to singing it emotionally, you know, that's the difference, but it's kind of a natural progression for the most part. The character I play, her name is Rachel Marin, and she's a rock star, actress, turned actress, and she needs a bodyguard. She doesn't know it, nor does she really care. Her management knows that there's someone threatening Rachel's life. Rachel's not aware of it, and they hire Frank Farmer, who's Kevin Costner, to protect Rachel. Frank rearranges Rachel's whole life. She doesn't like it, and they have a lot of conflict. There's a lot of conflict between Rachel and Frank in the beginning. In the end, they learn to respect and love each other and move on their own, you know, respective ways. And I just didn't want to do films. I had many scripts before The Bodyguard. But, you know, I wanted to do something that would add up, you know, not just, you know, oh, she did a film. Well, how nice, you know, that's very nice, Whitney's in the movies, you know. And it took me a while, you know, to get to a script like The Bodyguard. You know, I waited, and I think if I play my cards that way, if I'm just smart about my projects, I think I can keep a momentum going. Hollywood's happy. When you get into movies, it's just, what's difficult about movies, though, is the actual speaking and having to speak it emotionally. You know, I'm used to singing it emotionally, you know. That's the difference, but it's kind of a natural progression for the most part. First, I was reluctant to doing it. I wasn't sure about the whole acting thing anyway. And I got a call from Kevin one day talking about The Bodyguard, and I had just recently, around that time, had gotten the script. And I read it and I put it down and I hadn't quite, you know, I think I was more afraid than I was, you know, I'm going to make a decision to do it. I mean, it was a great script. I mean, who wouldn't want it, you know? But I had to think about it. I had to make sure that, more so than anything, that I was ready to do it and that it was something that I was going to sink my teeth into and really give it my all, you know. I don't want to do anything if I'm not good at it, you know. But I wouldn't know unless I try. I do a lot of emotional stuff, drama. There's so much drama, and it's basically all on me because Frank, who's Kevin, doesn't really react, you know. He's a bodyguard, and he's very straightforward, and, you know, he doesn't say much, and I get angry with him, and he just looks at me half the time like, you poor girl. You know, so I'm going through all these emotions and stuff, you know. Wait until you see it, you'll see that it's just not only all about singing. If I could sing through a movie, that would have been easy. But it wasn't. I had to act. Nasty business. It is. It's low down. And that part of it will make me want to get out. Because there's a lot of, lots of angles now, you know. I mean, you don't have to be a singer, you don't have to dance. You got a nice dress and you got a nice body and you got a nice face. Make a video, don't worry about it. We'll hook it up in the studio. Don't even worry about it. You don't have to say a note, you know. It's that kind of thing now, you know, and it's like, where are we going? What are we doing? I want to be bigger than he is, you know, so that creates a mildness and a meekness in your soul and your heart, you know, that you can't escape, you know. And if you remember those things, which is something that my family, my mother, you know, injects all the time, you know, those things stay the same, you know. You may make big money and go many places and do all those things, you know, but God still stays the same. What am I going to do? You know, how am I going to do this? But that's my mother, you know, and I've always been able to go and sit on her lap. Even at this age, I sit on her lap and I say, Ma, I mean, I got a problem. Or, Ma, listen to this, you know. And it's those times when you can only go to your mother, you know. Or, and for the most part, I don't even have to go to my mother. She has this connection with her children that she will call me. And at the weirdest moments, weirdest times, say, hey, what's going on with you? I just dreamed about you last night, and I know something's going on in your heart. Want to talk about it? Jan has always been someone that I've looked up to since I was a little girl, you know. I spent a lot of time with Dion when I was younger, and she was my model of someone, you know, that I looked at in the business and just thought was so full of grace and just charm and talents.